Yeah, so Matt Crandall from the Armchair Directors asked me about like how I was and everything. So I thought, and I did respond to him, but just in case, just to like, you know, to not have anyone else worried or anybody who knows what's been happening. Basically, this year has been tough for me. Like every year is tough in one way or another. I feel that, you know, just quite recently, I saw a post from Nick Nocturne saying that each year to him is like a new lesson that needs to be learned. I feel that is true. I feel that the same way, especially this year. And this year, basically, the theme has been the law and how, and, you know, how justice isn't always fair, and sure, it's blind, but it's more than just blind. I feel like it's more like, I feel that we really haven't had any justice this year. And basically what I'm talking about, due to the other videos being very long and being that there's a lot of them, a series that I could easily like compile, a series that I wouldn't blame you for not watching it, because basically it's just me crying like a big old bitch, like a little bitch boy, and bitching about how life is hard for me. But what are you gonna do? Like, I've never gone through this before. And basically what happened was that I don't know how to even go about this, or how to like, because it is a long story, but basically my neighbor, for like a year, he's been like doing annoying, stupid crap. And because he's been doing annoying, stupid crap, I shouldn't even have the radio on, but he like decided to take it a step further by like parking his car in front of our, like, he didn't park his car, he pushed it, because it's a piece of junk that you can't even drive. So yeah, he pushed it, and he pushed it like where he didn't leave us much of a space to park our vehicle in front, because we don't have enough space on our driveway, because it's a small driveway and we have a lot of cars. So my dad decided, well, screw it, I'm gonna push it back, because it's not really like you know, it's not that hard to move. And then it, like, I don't know, the guy, he got pissed, of course, and got in an altercation, and the police came and made it worse, because after the police, you know, left, he put up a sign insulting us and saying that we're, you know, he called us the F word, and then he like said that we were queerbait thieves and losers, and that we should go F our mom. And he painted like a big old middle thing, like he traced his middle finger and stuff like that next to the stupid sentence. And so we called the cops, and they said they couldn't do anything about it, and that they were gonna take him to court. And they weren't even gonna do that at first, actually, but they ended up doing that. They ended up giving him like a court appearance paper, whatever, like a citation. So, and of course he didn't take down the sign, and that's really what we wanted, was for him to take down the sign. I don't care about him going to court, or like what exactly were they gonna make him do. So I ended up taking the sign down myself anyway, because it's like, oh, the cops didn't do anything. And then he started throwing rocks at our house. I was like, well, this is bull. I mean, really, I took it down twice because my mom said, okay, rip it to shreds and then like put it on his lawn just so he doesn't call the cops and say that we stole it, because, you know, and I told my mom, he's probably gonna call the cops anyway, so like, what's the point of doing this? Like, nah. And so he put it back together anyway, and he put it back up. So yeah, so I took it down again because of course my dad was pissed off and said, if you're gonna do something, do it right. And really, he was coming home angry each day because of it. But anyway, like, again, I'm trying to make this short. Yeah, so he started throwing rocks at our house, and then the next day he started following my dad around, like stalking him, you know, and that was the stick that broke the camel's back. So we went and asked for a restraining order. The judge is all like, okay, so if he doesn't show up, it's gonna be permanent, but if he does show up, we're gonna like give him a 4-month or 3-month period time to like cool down and think of what he did. Which is like, dude, just, okay, fine. Like, whatever is fair, like, apparently that's a thing that they have to do. They can't just, you know. And he could have easily, like, and the other option was for him to say, yeah, well, screw that, he wanted to make his case and fight against us or whatever. Because we've also, like, okay, I get it, we've done other, like, we're not, like, innocent here, like, you know, he's done annoying stuff to us and we have retaliated, and I get it, like, the best way is to ignore it, but sometimes it's like Chinese water torture. It piles up and it piles up and it keeps on piling up. We keep ignoring him and he tries his hardest to get our attention and to provoke us and to annoy us. And don't get me wrong, like, there's just some periods where, you know, he does something and we just ignore it and it's fine. And really, the person who really needs to, like, you know, leave him alone or to not say anything to the guy is my brother. My brother really is the one who reacts and, like, explodes whenever this guy does something to us and whatnot. So, yeah. And basically, the cooling down period is over, so I don't know if he has something planned. I mean, we still have to go to the judge still this Tuesday, as at the time that I'm making this video. It's a day after Labor Day, which, like, really, this sucks. Like, on Labor Day, you want me to be thinking about this and to fight with my neighbor and to see if, like, we can be at peace. Because that's what we're doing, really. But that's my train of thought. But yeah, it was stupid. But on top of that, he also, like, he called the cops on me for taking a sign. Like, they had me under theft and, you know, trespassing, like a bunch of stuff. Like, dude, it was in, like, just to explain how this was, how I took it down or anything. It wasn't like it was on his side. Yeah, it was on his side of the property, but not like for me to walk into his property. It wasn't like on his porch or next to his house. No, if anything, the sign was next to my house. It was closer to me than to him, because he had a storage unit, like, practically right, like, a foot away from where his fence is. He even moved his fence, like, closer to us, because that's where the property line goes. That's fine, whatever. But he put the sign up there, like, practically on the property line. right up like in front of my front door. Like it was like 5 feet away from my front door, and that was like the first thing we would see every morning, like those horrific flipping things. My mom would have tears running down her face every morning just seeing that stupid sign. And then the police chief, instead, like, with them, they asked him to take it down. With me, he'd like demanded and said, "Where's the sign?" Like, really? You're gonna come after me this way? And then he wanted, like, I don't know if it was the district, like, I guess the prosecutor or district attorney is the same person, or I don't know how this legal stuff. I'm still learning because this is stuff that I've never gone through. But anyway, taking it down, and I'm like, dude, like, we already went to court. We already, like, basically the punishment is that he needs to stay away from us. Like, that's the punishment that I wanted from the guy. Like, what, how is him doing community, like, if anything, that's gonna make the blood between us even worse. Like, how is that? And the guy's like, well, that was a civil issue, this is a criminal issue. I'm like, no, it's the same issue, though. Like, I'm the one who called you and put the charges, though. And it's all fine on my end with how things are, like, right now, with him staying away from us and not insulting us. Okay, that's why I told my dad, let's go get the restraining order. That's why we went to the court in the first place. So yeah, and we went, and don't get me wrong, we called the cops before we went to with the judge, because at that point he wasn't stalking us or following us around. But this guy, though, the police chief, like, he had him, like, scheduled to appear on court, like, before we went to court. But once he was stalking us, you know, we went to court. And it was all, like, related. It was all, like, and really this is what I wanted, was for him to stay away from us. Like, that's, the punishment was the restraining order for this guy. Okay, like, if he did something wrong to us again, he'd go to jail. That's what I wanted. And that's what we got. But these people still took it a step further and said, we're going to take him to court again and have him do... Like, dude, no. How about let's not do that? That's just going to piss him off. Like, and then he fucking, like, took me to court over it. So, yeah. And then I even tried to, like, say, like, to cut them a deal, saying, okay, let's just... We already went to court. Drop my charges, drop his charges, and we'll go talk to the judge in 4 months. And they didn't accept until I got a lawyer involved. Then they did accept, which is sketchy as fuck. Sorry for saying fuck, but it makes me mad. And I don't want to lie. Like, I know other people this year have been going through tough times too, like really hard times. Like, I'm pretty sure Matt Crandall himself, from Armchair Directors, his mom went through spinal surgery, and he's like sending me out, you know, the best of wishes and asking me how I am. And I want, you know, I wish him well, I wish his mom well. I didn't ask him how his mom was, and that's messed up on my part, because he's looking out for me and I'm not looking out for him. And I just want to say sorry, Matt, for not asking how your mom is doing. And I really hope she's doing well, and I wish the best for both of you. And I also want to wish the best for Madison to Canberra, because she's been really sad this year on her Twitter. And I also want to wish Markiplier the best, along with his what is it, his cousin-in-law or brother-in-law. His niece, you know, died in a car accident, and, you know, that's worse than what I'm going through. And I mean, my grandma died this year too, and I know how it feels, and it really sucks to have a loved one. But, you know, my grandma was 80, his niece was like 5, like, she wasn't even near, like, living. Like, she was living. What I'm trying to say is that that's not really, like, that's not a life. that should have gone. Like, that's way too soon. So, best wishes to Markiplier and to Michael Mercy as well. I haven't asked him how he's doing. He hasn't said anything. I'm pretty sure he's doing well, but still I want to wish him well because he wished me well. And I also want to wish Mariana Avila from that reality show that I liked a lot, which is now, I don't know, rapidly going downhill for me. That, it's basically The Challenge, but they don't want to call it The Challenge because of it would be copyright infringement because they didn't get the right, like, they're not paying MTV to run this show, so they called it The Challenge of the Four Elements, extreme nature, and they're still being sued because it's still The Challenge. It's still basically the same thing, the same concepts, but whatever. Like, and Mariana Avila, she's an actress. She went on that show to, like, have a good time, and her team, all they did was berate her and humiliate her and yell at her, and then especially Julio Camejo, an actor who's been known to be an asshole. And people are like, some people, I'm not one of those people, are giving him a free pass because he apparently is there to give money to a charity, to children with cancer. Like, yeah, he's gonna give money to some kids with cancer, and that's great, that's noble. However, that doesn't, like, excuse you for being like the worst person ever and for treating her the way you treated her. Like, that doesn't excuse you for being a douche. Like, that's great, good for you for doing that. How about, like, you're doing a good deed, and by doing a good deed, you're basically humiliating your team member and, like, stabbing her in the back and, like, humiliating her in front of, like, the entire, population that watches the show, which is very popular now. So you do that claiming that it's for, like, the best of the intent, like, that your intentions are good, but, like, the thing is, once you have to, like, explain your good intentions and people, like, still don't find those, are still, you're basically, like, ruining it, you're basically, what I'm trying to say is that you're basically, like, the good intention at this point is only to, like, even out the bad stuff that you did. And if you're gonna keep that, might as well not even help anyone out because you're looking worse than actually doing anything good. And that's all I have to say. And I'll basically, I'll talk about this reality show more because I used to like it a lot, and now it's like the second season, and it wasn't even like a year after they did the first season. Like, they didn't even give me, like, a hankering to watch the show. Like, they didn't even give me, like, a period of time for me to, like, sit down and wait. Like, if I would have just waited a year and said, oh man, I can't wait for this show, I would have been, that would have been great. But no, they renewed it, and they, like, started airing it right away. Like, they didn't give me, like, enough time here to, like, be like, okay, I want to watch this again. And I don't even know who to root for because everyone on that show is just, they're either bland or they're assholes. Like, times way more asshole-ish than last season. Like, on last season, there was at least a team that I'd say, okay, these people are assholes. But no, like, everyone here, every team is an asshole. Like, it's like the one team from season 1 multiplied, and then they're the only ones who stayed. None of the good teams stayed. It's like, god damn. Like, But yeah, other than that, everything's fine. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I really don't want to go to court again, though. Like, that's the thing. But it's kind of like I have to, because if I don't, like, chances are he's just gonna return. Like, he's probably just waiting and anxiously to like start doing stuff to us again. But so we do have to go to court, but it's like right after a holiday, and my brother just his first day is to go to court, so I don't even think he's gonna show up, and he really is the one who should go, because he's the one who he has issues with. He's just taking it out on us just to make him feel bad, and he doesn't even live next to us. He doesn't even live with us anymore. And my brother so he doesn't live with us anymore, and my brother, who has the issues with him, doesn't live next to him anymore. Yet he still wants to piss him off by being an asshole to us. So this man is immature, and I don't know. I want it to be permanent, because really, like, that's what I want. But I don't want to go to court, because it's like a waste of time. Like, and I know he's just gonna say, "Well, screw that. They did stuff to me too," and that's what I don't want. Is for the entire town. Well, not the entire town, but like, there's going to be other people there, because other people have their own cases, and the judge does it all at once. I don't know why they do that. Like, that's a thing that I also learned. But yeah, like, I don't want, like, I don't know, it's just embarrassing and humiliating and just stupid, and I just wanted him to just leave us alone. That's all I'm asking. It's not that hard. Everyone else does it. That's why we don't have, like, this is barely like the first time we've had any, like, rivalry or any, like, I mean, sure, like, our next door neighbors would, like, have domestics and they would come to us for help, but they never hated us. They never, like, threatened, like, we never had problems with other neighbors. Like, if the only problems we have with other neighbors is helping out with their problems and only relying on us to help them with their problems. But never did I think that those neighbors were not as bad as these neighbors. I thought those neighbors were bad. No, those neighbors weren't bad. These neighbors are bad. So, god damn, dude, just leave us out of your crap. Just don't do anything anymore. Just, that's all I want. And I feel that you want the same thing too, and let's just make it permanent. That way, you know, it works both ways. Like, if we do something to you, you know, which we don't, okay, like, we haven't done anything to them. We stay away from you, you stay away from us. If anything happens between us, the cops get involved and someone goes to jail, okay? I'm pretty sure that's what you want anyway. Like, I'm pretty sure you want to feel safe too. I'm pretty sure you want to be, like, you don't want us to, like, retaliate or do anything against you. So just leave us alone. That's all I'm asking. And that's it. I'm wasting gas because I have the air conditioner on, and that's all I have to say.